All hail Biafra. This is Biafra Liberation Army Network coming to you again. Please like, share, and comment.
Fellow Biafrans, listeners all across the world. Today, I want to call on the President of Finland, President Stubb. I want him to step up and see what is happening in Nigeria. I want him to take a closer look and see how Nigeria are threatening the real terrorists in that country. And hopefully he will understand that all Simon Ekpa was doing was fighting to defend his people. When he sees this video, I hope he will understand that something that could not be tolerated in Finland can never be tolerated in the land of Biafra. Fellow Biafrans, I'll make this one very, very brief and sweet because I want this to go straight to the President of Finland. President Stubb, it was under your watch that Simon Ekpa was held and convicted illegally, sent to 6 years due to so-called online activities related to terrorism. He also came with a caveat saying that, he didn't declare his taxes and that he is practicing as a lawyer. Just a way to rope him in. And the bidding was 6 years in solitary confinement. Fellow Biafrans, listeners all across the world, I want to present to you what is happening in Castina. We've seen this video, even though the Nigerian media, they try to hide these things from us. The media, they've been bad. I don't blame them, but they've been bad by the government. Never to call the terrorists who they are, call them bandits or headsmen or farmers and headers clash. That's the new slogan. I want Stubb to watch this video and see the way Nigeria conduct themselves within Nigeria. And hopefully at the end of this video, he'll understand that what he was told by those Nigerians that sabotaged Simon Ekpa came with a false narrative about Simon Ekpa. He will see how the real terrorists have been treated. If you're ready, let's go there. Watch this. Hold it there. As you can see, there are military men literally everywhere. What you're seeing here is the bandits and the military and Nigerian government having a peace truce. I call them bandits. The terrorists and the Nigerian government having a peace treaty, a peace meeting in Katsina State, in the north. President Stubb, this is what is happening in Nigeria. Islamic jihadists that have come to Islamize us in Biafra land. When they are caught in the north, they have a peace deal, a peace treaty. They make peace. And at the end, these men you are seeing here are integrated into the Nigerian police, Nigerian army, Nigerian navy, the customs, and the rest. Keep watching.
Hello Sunusi. Da Allah ina son kana ji. Ka biyo bakin hanya duka ka gaya ma mutane cewa da Allah ga Fulani nan za su zo su wuce ba ruwan kowa da su. An yi magana ne yanzu za su zo wucewa kawai za su. Ka gane abu bakin hanyar nan kar wanda ya ce wani abu.
Can you see them carrying their guns next to the military and all is fine, all is well? Can you see the terrorists side by side carrying their guns next to the military of Nigeria? They have a collaboration, they have a partnership, they have an alliance. On Fridays, they go for their prayers, their Juma. They pray and worship in the same place. They call them their freedom fighters, not terrorists or bandits. And they've told the media of Nigeria to call we the Biafrans terrorists. but call the real terrorists bandits and headers. Let's continue.
Ga su nan wucewa kawai za su yi. Da Allah abi ga su nan za su taho yanzu da Allah. Abi a gaya ma mutane. Yawa.
Okay, so before I continue my analysis, I want us to listen to what the Nigerian media are saying. The independent media in Nigeria, what they are saying in regards to what is going on in terms of the bandits being given amnesty. I keep on calling them bandits. Oh my God, have mercy. That's the virus that Nigeria does. Over time, you start to skip to the law of Nigeria. The terrorists are being given amnesty. A peace treaty where they come with what they call a cheese approach policy or a cheese policy, where they are being funded. Every month they are paid their stipends, and every day they are fed. Every month they get their pay, they are funded with their ammunitions and tools, and they are fed. It is called the cheese approach so-called deal that they have with the terrorists amongst them, because they know deep inside these guys have a role to play when it comes to Islamizing Nigeria. When it's time, they will now become their freedom fighters. So let us hear what the media is saying in Nigeria, and I'll continue. Respect to my brother who was able to capture this footage. Please watch this.
Fortunate.
One,
we have a picture of the
one
man.
bandit was given chieftaincy
Title.
and the government
Yes,
officials were invited to the ceremony, and they attended it.
This
Is
is
it not the same country where they were giving bandits wives? One state was organizing women for them. That if they got married, they would be,
One of the bandits, hold it there, please. One of the bandits was given a chieftaincy title. I keep using the word bandits. President Alexander Stubb, while you were busy investigating Simon Ekpa, one of the terrorists in Nigeria was given a chieftaincy title to make him a chief in the north. And government officials, they attended that ceremony. This is coming from the mouth of the media in Nigeria. If you don't believe me when I say these things, today I'm presenting to you what they are saying in the Nigerian media. This is going on. This is the trademark of what's happening in Nigeria. This is their modus of operandi. So I wonder why Finland, of all countries, we allow Nigeria to cajole them, to fool them, to use them and dump them at the end. How will you allow Nigeria to tarnish your reputation? You were highly respected, highly revered among the League of Nations. How would you allow this to happen to yourself? And listen, Stubb, it is clear you don't know what is happening in Nigeria. You are naive. You are naive. You are deaf, dumb, and blind when it comes to the affairs of Nigeria. You don't know what's going on. Because Simon Ekpa is the good guy. He's the one protecting his people from this happening in our land. We are Christians in Biafra land. Mainly Christians, traditional worshippers, and also Jews. We don't believe in Islam. We are not Islamic by nature. None of us have that trait when it comes to affiliation or whatever. When it comes to Islam, it is strange to us. It is alien to us. So what you see happening here is the norm in Nigeria. It's normal. In the north, in the southwest, because they have that lineage. Somehow, Islam is now part of them. But the case is different in Biafra land. That's why we cannot tolerate things like this. Things like this cannot be accepted in Biafra land. Let's continue. Listen to what is happening in Nigeria. Terrorists being given chieftaincy titles. Let's take it back. And listen, please. Listen.
It is unfortunate.
One,
We have a picture of the
one
man.
bandit was given chieftaincy title.
Chieftaincy title.
And the government
Yes, I was
officials
there.
were invited to the ceremony and they attended it.
This
Is
is
it not the same
unacceptable.
country where they were giving bandits wives? One state
Yes.
was organizing women for them. That if they got married, they would be.
Oji, look at the military fatigue the guy is wearing.
Come on.
If you dare wear that camo,
Yeah.
the military will beat you blue black in public. But
Yes,
look at him.
Wearing
Wearing the
all the
military
guns.
cap.
Unacceptable.
It's the audacity and boldness of impunity. That's
Bandits and terrorists are criminals.
They are all together. We'll take the story in Katsina State, where reactions have trailed the peace deal negotiations between one of Nigeria's most wanted terrorists, Isaiah Kwashen Garwa, with the community in Faskari local government area of the state. The deal was announced on Sunday in a post on X by Zagazola Makama, a security analyst specializing in the Lake Chad region. In the post, Makama explains that for a long time, the terrorists had been linked to kidnappings, killings, and raids across forest areas in Katsina, as well as neighboring states. Reactions to the story have been divided. While some see the development as a chance to restore calm in long-troubled communities, others question the sincerity of the bandit leader, recalling the atrocities attributed to his group. I mean, look at this man out there holding a rifle. He's out there, Rufai, and meeting with community members. And this is the sort of conversations we're having right now in Nigeria. I'll take the reactions trailing the story, and then we will continue. In the meantime, here's a reaction. This is from an ex-user, wrote on X. Is the peace deal the required justice for the numerous lives that were wasted and are still wasting so many years of setbacks, not only for the direct victims of insurgency and the Northeast, but also for the country in general? Negotiating peace with bandits and enemies who held the entire country hostage for so many days is synonymous with encouraging others to constitute themselves into groups to wage war against the country with the mindset of being granted amnesty after so many years of infiltrating havoc and destroying lives. Meanwhile, a peace deal that was intended to end years of violence in Nigeria's northwest has collapsed after bandits abducted 40 worshippers in Zamfara state. The peace pact had been signed on August 28 between community leaders and bandits in Katsina state. However, less than a month later, gunmen attacked a mosque in Gidantobe village in Safe local council and abducted dozens of worshippers during morning prayers on Monday. Despite the setback, the Katsina state government is saying they support community-driven pacts with repentant terrorists, but maintain a policy of zero negotiation. What sort of contradiction is that, Rufai?
So when you see a society that the oppressors are beginning to have a very free reign, and the people that the government ought to protect, the government can't protect them, so they try to look for deals with their oppressors. These are vestiges of a dysfunctional society. You will have thought that this government will focus on that, but they'll never focus on that. They'll focus on politics. And that's why they were doing elections in Zamfara State, 5 local governments. I can't still process that thing. They deployed officers from Gombe and other parts, military officers, battalions were there. In security, you will never see that kind of mass deployment. You see, because number one, the government doesn't really care about you that much. So you are left in the hands of kidnappers and bandits. You have to beg them for peace deal. And that's the dysfunctional society we live in. And it's that kind of dysfunctional society that breeds people like Bago. That Badegi FM held his feet to the fire. He felt no other thing to do. He said he was going to demolish the station. Thank God Badegi FM didn't cow to him. You know how many media stations that have cowed to dictators and outright bullies in this country? They took him to court and he was repelled. Now he wants to look at the sermons of preachers. At a point, if care is not taken, I'm not saying he has done it, but at this rate, maybe he'll start looking at all the phones and the call log of everybody because he wants to censor thoughts. The best antidote to react, if they say you're not doing well, is to do well. But in a large regard, in very big aspect, yes, he has gotten some successes right in agriculture, but in trampling of rights and things like that, he has not done well.
Yeah.
And we have to tell him what it is. In that interview, he made many blunders. And please, his chief press secretary should walk him about what they call image. He thinks it's straight talking, but he says a lot of rubbish. Just like what he said in that interview.
Let's hold it there because I'm not here to discuss the politics of Nigeria. I just hope that the president of Finland, people of Finland, have just heard from the media of Nigeria. Because when Sabanekba speaks this way, they say, no, he's telling lies, as he's the one causing the unrest in Nigeria. When we, the Biafrans, speak of our plight, they condemn us. They say, no, in fact, we are the ones that enjoy the most in Nigeria. It's all about oil, that we are being greedy. We believe in politics, that's why we are complaining, and all we wanted is our brother Peter Obi to become president. But today we are glad that the media of Nigeria are speaking out of what is happening in Nigeria. At the time when our leader Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped from Kenya and brought to Nigeria, you will assume a country that does such, perhaps they are ready to, to fish out the real terrorists in Nigeria. You will assume that going all the way to Kenya to kidnap an innocent man and brought him back to Nigeria through an extraordinary rendition, you will assume it means at home their policy is so stench and strict that they don't even, negotiate with terrorists. But the opposite is the case in Nigeria, where the real terrorists are being pampered. They beg them to come around for 6 weeks, and they say they are now repented. They buy them clothes, dress them up, and before you know it, they've been dispatched into the different government parastatals. How can the terrorists be a policeman? How can they be in the military? How can they be assigned in the Navy and Customs? How can they do these things?